Well, here they come. Korea leading out Mexico for the compound mixed team bronze medal match. Let's go straight down to the field of play for the introduction of the athletes. So Mexico line up with Daphne Quintero, the world number 28, and Miguel Tejera, the world number 11. Meanwhile, on the other side of the shooting line, Korea have Kim Yoon-hee, who's the world number 9, and she's teamed up with Kang Dong-hyun, who's the world number 62. Chef, surely Mexico are a stronger team?
Yes, you would say so. But I think Korea has been very consistent in their matches leading up to this one, and I think they have a good shot.
Yeah, usually on the shooting line, if you've got a Korean standing next to you, you've got an uphill task. But Mexico will be perhaps a little bit more confident given the conditions here as well. Daphne Quintero to get this bronze medal match underway.
Bit of a surprised look on Bichera's face there. And I have to admit that I made the same face when I saw that arrow hit in the 8 ring, because it looked like a comfortable, good shot. Korea getting coming out of the gates very strong with 2 10s, and historically speaking, in a team match that's very important to start the match with a good score. Although it's only 2 points of difference, so a lot of things can still happen. And Bichera, I think he probably moved his sight after that first one, and we'll see if it paid off. Sure did. Kang is really pumped up about shooting a 10. That's fun to see.
Yeah, he's up for it. There's a little bit more experience on this stage. Kim Yoon-hee shooting last. Just pushes it onto the 9, but that is a 1-point advantage for the Korean team after the very first end. Chef, no question really on any of the arrows there. Of course, they will be still checked by the target judge and confirmed, and of course the agents as well. But the astute amongst our audience will have noticed there are 2 targets. What are the rules about that? You've got to have arrows in both targets at the end, right?
Yeah, you have to shoot 2 arrows in each target, and you can pick if you want to have 1 arrow or 1 archer shoot both arrows in 1 target, or if you want to divide your arrows over both targets. That's both fine as long as both arrows or both targets have 2 arrows in them at the end.
What was it when you shot mixed teams? Would you tend to prefer shooting into one target and your partner shooting into the other?
No, because I shot recurve, and we shot at one target at 70 meters, so that was a bit different.
Nearly caught you out.
Was that a trick question, Kareem?
Of course it was. But taking jokes aside here, surely it's easier just to aim at one target, even though they're 50 meters down the range, but they are, apart. The two centers are, a good meter apart?
Yeah, you would adjust for that with your footing. So you would either stand just left of the middle of the target or just right of the middle of the target. So you wouldn't typically stand in the same spot and aim off, because that will, or you would have to adjust the angle of your feet. That would also work, but I think most archers will just stand off of the middle of the target.
And number 2 underway, and it's a 10 for Daphne Quintero. Only 1 point difference in this match, so no need for the Mexicans to panic at this stage.
You made me think a bit about this now, because I've never done this, shooting at 2 different targets, because I shoot a recurve, but I think I would indeed prefer to have one target to myself and one target to my mixed team partner. Not only because it's consistent, so you shoot at the same target, but also because then you can see where your grouping is according to the holes in the target. So I think there is some things in favor of shooting at your own target, but the Korean team decides against it, so there might also be arguments against it. It seems that whatever you do, you can shoot a 10 regardless, so I don't think it matters that much. So that's the first 9 that they get, and I say that not as a joke, because obviously Bichera has shot an 8 in his first arrow, but that's the first real sign of a shot that didn't go as he wanted, because his sight should be centered by now, as he's shot 2 10s after that 8. So it would be the first bad shot, so to say.
Well, a perfect 40 there for Korea, and they've just opened up that lead by another point to lead 79-77 at the halfway stage of this bronze medal match. Let's just delve a little bit deeper into this 2-target situation. If you shoot an arrow, say, into the 8-9 line, is there an element that perhaps you might follow that arrow back into the target if you don't switch targets?
There is, especially with compound, you're very prone to aiming at a dark part in the target, so that's why, especially indoors, a lot of compound archers like to keep their targets on the target butt for as long as possible, because it has nice black holes in them, so you can easily aim at that. Your sight picture automatically goes to that hole. The same goes for if you shoot a group on a certain side of the target. It's very easy to, by accident, to aim on that darker part of the target. So yes, there is a chance that if you hit an arrow outside of the center of the target, you might aim there subconsciously the next arrow.
And you talk about aiming at a group, there's not a problem with the groups right in the middle of the target, is it?
No, exactly. So that's why it's nice to have a group in the middle, because then you'll automatically aim there.
Well, there we go. The intricacies of this seemingly simple sport, almost infinite. End number 3, and it's Daphne Quintero back on the shooting line. She's not missed the 10 ring yet.
Easy to see as she has her own target.
Big movement there. And this is a very long hold for Kang. Oh, how on earth has he recovered that?
How did he make that one stick? I don't know. There was a bit of a wobble, or maybe more than a bit of a wobble. I think he thought his release was going to go off at that point, but it didn't, so he had to recover and shoot a good shot after that.
And see, he's just a little, he's just taking his time to think through that, just to settle himself back down again. I'd imagine that your heart goes through the roof of your mouth when that happens.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll feel your heart beating in your throat, which is also your anchor point with his release. So, yeah, I think he might have felt that. I think he's still feeling the adrenaline from that shot.
So perfect 40 for Mexico, following on from the Koreans' 40 in the last end. Puts them on 117. Just a little nervy there, and that's pulled over to the 9.
Yeah, I think that was nerves that were left over from the last shot. I think his confidence took a dent there. And with that, the gap closes to only 1 point, and the Mexican team will start the next end, so they can really put some pressure on the Korean team. So,
and I also noticed that the buzzer for the Koreans went off, within a couple of seconds of that last arrow flying out of the bow. So they used a lot of time probably with that first shot from Kang.
Yeah, that first shot from Kang, I think if it would have went off at the moment he wanted it to go off, that would have been his normal rhythm. So all of the time after that was extra time that he used on that shot. So you can imagine that eats some time away from the other archer as well.
Well, Quintero's shooting very well. Becerra has stepped up his game, having shot a couple of 9s in the first 2 ends. He's all 10s, but there was a big movement before that one. I think that's actually a shot from a previous end, but there was a big movement from Kang in his first shot in that end. Somehow he got it into the 10, but the nerves were a bit of a hangover for his second shot. We've got a 9, so Mexico closed the gap to 1 point, and we have 1 end remaining. Back over to Daphne Quintero.
I don't think she was super happy with where her pin was sitting when that shot went off, but it hit the middle, and that's exactly what they should be doing right now to put some pressure on the Koreans.
Have those nerves settled down for Kang. Mexico have not missed the centre of the target, but they do need Korea to drop points if they're going to make this a contest again. And there is the point they needed. Well, with 3 arrows left for Korea and 2 for Mexico, Mexicans have a chance here.
Yeah, I fancy seeing a shoot off.
You might not get it, Chef. 2 9s give the lead to the Mexicans with 2 arrows to go, and you have to fancy them. Quintero first. Into the 10. If Becerra hits a 10 here, Mexico have come from behind in an absolute humdinger. And what a miraculous turnaround for Mexico. It just goes to show you don't stop until the final whistle blows. There's nothing that the Koreans can do here now. Difficult sometimes to watch these arrows. They know that the podium's gone for them, and they've not got another end to play, but they finish very well with 2 10s, but a 156 is not enough for the target set by the Mexicans. And what a comeback from Quintero and Becerra. What a brilliant contest for bronze in the mixed team competition. It's Mexico that will be on the podium.